Hello guys, how are you guys? It's your boy Zoe but Joe Money Don Pablo. And as you can see, guys, I'm out of hospital, and it's good it's good to be alive. It feels good. It's good to be here.
It's nice.
And today I've got a big surprise for you guys. As you can see, my friend Jake, I'm with the white man today. As you know on Marketing Mavericks, the culture is you introduce yourself. Please tell them so. Who are you?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
My name's Mahal Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
So people address me via those two names most of the time. People just call me Gibson. This is our home.
Yes.
Where we stay.
Yes.
And we're on a farm today. So yeah.
Doing farm. All right, guys, I've been here for like 3 days now. We've been doing farm things. I'm sure you guys will see the clips here and there of how beautiful this place is. Before I even forget, the name of the place where I'm at right now is Billy's Recreational Farm. So please tell us how it is to be living on a farm.
It's actually very interesting. I would definitely say that it's a different type of lifestyle. It's not something that you can just wake up one day and decide, I'm going to stay on a farm.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe some people can do it, but yeah, it's one of those things where you wake up in the morning and you kind of have to have a set out plan for the day. Like, you know, you're fully employed at home.
You're fully employed at home.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
Quite interesting, yeah.
So, okay, before now we get into like the whole farm life thing, could you give us a bit of a history of like Billy's Recreational Farm? Like, how did it start?
All right. Way back, like really far back, I did hear my parents talking about this place being one of the first places where some settlers did settle.
Oh, okay.
In the forest towards our right-hand side.
Oh.
There are bathtubs that have been chiseled out there by first settlers. So they used to wash their clothes there, maybe bathe there.
Wow.
And there's another one. Unfortunately, we can't access them like right now to show you guys, but in the next couple of months, they should be
they should be available.
They should be available.
Yeah.
So then from there, it became a Fraser's trading post.
Okay.
This belonged to Lord Fraser. There was a shop here, and they used to trade. So there used to be a road that used.
So what? Okay, explain to us like what's a trading post for those who don't know.
A trading post. Interesting. I'm also not that familiar with a trading post, but they used to wholesale stuff. So there would be a shop here with all your basic needs in the house and.
Oh. Do you have any idea, like in terms of dates, like how far back we're talking about? Because you say trading post is not that an old.
I don't have a date off the cuff right now.
Yeah.
But in the front of the buildings, there are dates put into the slabs when they were building them.
Oh.
In the 1950s, I'd say.
Jesus, 1950. Guys, we're in 2026. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So, how long has this place been in your family?
This place has been in my family for 30, 40 years. Yeah.
Wow, and it's doing it. How is it? Like, okay, what I love about this place, right, is the fact that it's it's refreshing. Number one, guys. But now, how did you guys come about this beautiful spot? Like the beauty here is crazy, guys.
In all honesty, it's not going to be an easy one for me to answer, but my father acquired this property many years ago.
Yeah.
And so
Billy, by the way, guys.
Billy. We named the place after him.
Yeah. Keep the legacy going.
Yeah, he's born in Lesotho. His father was also born in Lesotho. I'm third gen Lesotho. I actually grew up here.
Oh.
From being 2 bricks and a tiki eye. You know? So this is home. This is definitely home.
It's definitely home. Yeah. So now in development, like, because the thing is, before I even came here, I knew about it. I had heard about it, people like coming to camp and do all kind of different activities. Yeah. How did you guys like build that brand as a family over the years?
Funny story. It actually started with a gentleman in a Beatles club.
Okay.
And look, my father, he enjoyed his space, so he didn't really enjoy the whole entertainment scene, so for him this was just this quiet space with his garden going on and getting the odd vegetable from here, here and there in the garden, a couple of fruit trees, that kind of thing. And then, well, I turned into a teenager, and one day this guy comes driving. I don't know where. I don't even remember where I met this guy. But anyway, Beatle Club. The classic Beatles, the old Beatles. And he says to me, "No, we want to come and have a session out there by you guys. Want to use the lawn? What? I'm like, yeah, no, look, I'll talk to my parents and see what we can do." Spoke to my father, and then these guys came over. They had their bra, they opened their bonnets, they were talking. This is weird, dude. Like, give us days, like, what year is this? Like, if I were to put a year on that, what was I? 14, 15. So that's back, and that's like that. Oh, 09. Yeah, 09, I'd say. Hey, around 09. 09, yeah. Let's say 08. 08, okay. Somewhere. 08, 09, around there. Yeah, somewhere around there. Wow. And these guys loved the place. And I mean, look, there was no cut the charge or anything at the time. And then I think my dad looked at this and he was like, next time your friends come now, they should start putting something down in return for using our space. And I think that's how it slowly grew into what it is now, where people can come and book the place for like weddings. Oh, okay. A lot of people use it for like picnics. They come out with their families. Some people host birthday parties here, and camping. Like camping as well. So, let's go now a bit into your history. We heard about how you grew up here, but there's an element that I want you to explore that the viewers at home don't really know about. The bikes, the biking culture. This family is big on bikes. Like, you don't understand. I've never come here and there's no bike around. Like, even the guys I know in Maseru come out here to get their bikes fixed. Get their bikes. Yeah, I help with the mechanics in town. But before we get to that, when I was 6 years old, I got put on my first motorbike. My father bought me a bike. He built a track around the yard, and I'd ride around through the yard the whole day. Yeah, it wasn't that easy in the beginning. I remember riding into a couple of trees and thorn bushes because I didn't know what I was doing. I just the harder the crash, or just as I was about to crash, the scream got louder. So, and then from there, gradually grew into bigger motorbikes, from smaller motorbikes into bigger motorbikes. I helped out a lot in the 11 and the 12s, the 2011 and 12s to mark like the roof route. Okay. So, did you compete yourself? Have you ever I haven't competed actually. You were just training, coaching. Question. I did do a little bit of training with a couple of people. Yes. Okay. Also, that was just more to have somebody to ride with me. Because I mean, look, good bikers hardly fall, right? Yeah. But when we do, we have nice falls. Seriously, nice falls. It always helps to have somebody around in case of a situation like that. So yes, and then I'd groom people while we're riding. Hey man, don't do this, do that. Take care of yourself, take care of the machine, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So basically, you've been like a coach in this biking industry. Yeah. That's nice to hear. This is a new side. So what like from the guys who competed for, like you've seen compete here in the city, what do you think of the culture of biking in the city now? Amongst the locals? Yeah, amongst the locals, as you know, over the years as you've been watching. Look, it's very competitive now, which is not a bad thing, good thing. It's a very expensive sport. So a lot of people are relying on sponsorship. I guess it all depends on the individual. Okay. It all depends on the individual, but it is a culture that's growing, that is coming to see the light. We have quads, which I hope now in this video people come to learn that a quad is not the same as a motorbike. Okay. So a bike's got two wheels. Yeah. That's why we call it a bike. It's a bike. Yeah, it's a bike. Yeah. And then a quad is quadruple. So we can't call a quad a bike. Yeah. And a lot of people do that. Yeah. Hey man, but it's just boom, I'm on it. It's the same thing. Exactly. Hey. Yeah. Okay. So in doing that, okay, in coaching, guys, there's a lot of activities that you can see that happen here. All these things we're discussing are things that actually happen on the spot between the bike training, the farming, and the growing of like the recreational activities and
VW club fan. Beetle, the Beetle. Every time I say Beetle, I always remember the Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Kind of cliche. But basically, how did you? Okay, now I've come back and like it's been I've been coming here for over like now I think 6 years now.
Yeah.
And every time like we were really more into like the biking, the mechanical side. But this time I came around and I'm seeing that you've gone deeper into the farming.
All right.
Tell me more about that. How did that come
How
about?
the transition happened?
Yeah.
Motorbikes they're nice things to work on. I mean, I still enjoy fixing the odd motorbike and cars. I also work on cars as well. So, like I'm saying, the motorbike industry is a growing industry.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put this actually in a polite or mannerable way, but when it comes to motorbike repairs, a lot of people just want you to make a plan. So, I mean, make a plan, and then I realized, look, it's my name on at the end of it. Like, oh, I had it on the farm with Mahal, but now it's not working anymore. And so I kind of grew a little tired of that. There are people that really take care of their machines, and you just get some people that it's like, it's just so that I can ride it around.
It's just a weekend thing.
So the farming also, I have the land to do it.
Yeah.
So it's more than just having the land for it. It's for me bringing an awareness because I'm going into an organic farming system where
I heard you talking about that organic food like as a big issue for you. Like, tell us a bit more about that.
It is. I mean, if you look at the way food is produced commercially right now, and people having certain health issues, I'm not saying all of them relate back to eating what you eat in your daily life, or what kind of diet you're going on, but it reflects back to that. It reflects back to your health.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. But when we were talking yesterday about the hydroponic, because there's this new trend of people jumping into hydroponic farming. Will it work for you? Like, and also the thing is people understand the cost of it. Could you like give us a bit of an insight on that? Like the difference between organic farming and this hydroponic?
We got a couple of tomato plants in here. These are cauliflower plants. So the tomatoes, due to all the rain, are not doing that well, but you can see if it wasn't for the rain, would have really nice fat tomatoes. Personally speaking, I am an organic farmer. Love the organic thing. It's what I practice. And this in here, sorry to say, it's not organic. This is it's basically a hydroponic setup. This is cocoa peat.
What's the difference?
The difference is, so fully organic is going into the ground, building compost heaps, just what can I say? Regenerating your soil naturally, right? So cow dung, broken down matter from trees, grass, whatever we've got from the garden, we'll put into compost heaps and let it decompose. And then from there, we'll take it and spread it out into the garden, or dig small holes while we're planting, turn it into the soil, just so that the plants have got a little bit more nutrition from the ground. And whereas in this, it's got no nutrition in it. So we have to feed this. The drum behind you over there, there's a blue drum there. That is where we mix the nutrients. And then through the different stages of growth of the plant, I've got a little pH, TDS, EC meter that I put into the water when I mix my nutrients. I also drop the pH so that the nutrient uptake in the plants is a lot better. And that we do over here in the greenhouse and the little patch outside the greenhouse.
Let's slow things down a bit. How do we start this whole project, dude? Like, it seems like there's a lot going on. We need to understand how it began, why you started doing it.
I had a very big fascination with farming from being a very young kid, or from my youth. I grew up over here. I went to school in Maseru for most of my childhood, and then my parents always had vegetables in the garden, right?
Okay.
So I would always be the nuisance, or maybe not nuisance, I don't know, but I'd run down to the garden and I'd always be picking strawberries and going through the garden, running where I shouldn't be. You know how kids can be, right?
Yeah.
But I think I developed it from there, man. From a very young age, I just liked producing my own produce. And just the liberty of being able to walk into your garden, harvest a couple of things, take them into your house, literally from garden to table, and have a nice meal,
Okay.
And so that's where it stemmed off from. And then the hydroponics thing came in later in my life, because obviously there are different categories of farming.
And how did you start learning about all these things? Like, there's so many different kinds of farming. Like,
people pass it down to you. You sit around, you meet people, people pass it down to you. You can find it on the internet. I worked in a cannabis facility for 1.5 years, and that was fully hydroponics, which is all chemicals. There's nothing in there that you can say we were supplementing naturally at the time. So that's where I grew a lot of the fascination of this type of growing. It's a little bit more difficult. You have to do a lot of monetarily stuff. In terms of the feeding and your plant's health and, that kind of stuff.
Could you please walk us through just what it takes to get something from a seedling to to get into this stage of a full-grown plant that has fruits? I mean, the tomatoes are fruits. If you guys can see, the tomatoes have fruits here. And it seems like the garden is growing. But how do we take it? Because all of us go to the garden, all of us see the seedlings and everything. But how do we take it from 1 to 0?
Nursery where we make our own seedlings.
Yeah.
At a certain time of the year, this will be completely empty. And then I'll use this for seedlings, right?
Okay.
So then once the seedlings are fully grown, they spread out into the rest of the garden, which we'll show you guys as we take walks through the place. And then the seedlings come into here. I have an excess of seedlings. So I also do share crops. So if I have too much for my place, I'll push on into my neighbors and like that. But then basically...
What is sharecropping? What is sharecropping exactly?
Sharecropping is I'll have a bunch of seedlings, for example, and take you as my neighbor, and you've got a plot in your garden, and maybe you haven't turned it or you haven't got anything to put in it at the time. And because over here we try and get seedlings way ahead of time. So we'll start our seedlings before everybody else starts their seedlings. My seedling setup is not running right now, but I can explain it while we're going along. And then what I'll do is I'll take the seedlings that I have access of to my neighbors, and then I will then say, okay, we can fit so many here, or can we fit so many here? And then they plant it, and then we discuss a percentage rate of the harvest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, by the way, the name of this place where we're at is Billy's Recreational Farm, named after his father, rightfully. And he's going to be telling us a bit more about how he even started and what this place actually is.
Yeah. So this place is a very nice place for people to come out with their families, chill out for a weekend, have a nice bonfire, camping, walking, horse riding, fishing if you know how to use a fishing rod. Yep. Let's see what we get for dinner tonight kind of vibe, you know?
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so could you please tell us the history of this place? How you came upon it, how it was, what it was?
Okay. Yeah. All right, so my family's been here for 3 generations on this property. I am second gen. So 3 gen from Maseru and then out here. So my father used to live in Maseru many years ago before I was even born and then I came along and I grew up here. Okay. But basically, to get down to the history of the property, it was once upon a time the first settlers, apparently, the first settlers settled here. Okay. One of the pieces on the house is more than 100 years old. Wow. Which co-aligns with Tawawisiu, because Tawawisiu is just down the road from us. And their bathtubs that have been chiseled out in the rock many, many years ago. There are dates on rocks over here that are very old, very old. And then, so after it being a place where settlers used to be, then it became a Fraser's trading post. Okay. What's a trading post? I've been wanting to ask that. What is it? What is a trading post? A trading post is basically they used to run shops, and they would also buy wool and mohair from the people in the local area. Yeah. So maybe I'm not 100% sure. I'm still to be corrected if I'm wrong, but maybe the trading post actually comes from
Yeah.
I've got woolen mohair.
Yeah.
I want a planter,
Yeah.
for example, or I want an oranda blanket.
Yes.
So the guys would bring their wool in exchange for stuff that's in the shop. Maybe they would buy the wool and these guys would buy back then what they need from the shop.
So it went from French settlers to trading post.
And then it became a family homestead. I grew up here my whole life, went to school in Seru, so there was a lot of driving. Back then, the roads were not even tar, it was all gravel roads. The river was so low, sometimes if it rained enough, we wouldn't make it over the bridge, you know, and then we'd have to drive the whole way through Slubbing, City King, all the way back here. It was a long drive. But I had a lot of crazy experiences with deep river crossings with my father.
Give us like a one story, like one deep story with your dad, like in the war. Like
my dad was a little bit of a he was an all.
He was a maverick.
He used to do everything, man.
He was a maverick.
That's basically where I got my trade from, fixing cars and bikes and everything. But amazing, he was really good with. He could drive. He could drive. Like he would drift corners with me in the car, man.
Hey,
and that
was your dad Vin Diesel?
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. I remember one day I was late for school and he just clapped it in the car. Like, and then we get to the school and he goes, "You must have enjoyed that." Not knowing that the first corner that he went into, I was actually really scared. All right, man. So,
okay. So now Vin Diesel is driving you to school.
yeah. I remember just being in class for the first 30, 40 minutes, thinking about the drive coming into town and learning nothing. Because every time I was thinking, I just saw this car going all the way into the thing. And then, man, I don't know if I didn't enjoy it straight away, you know? So,
There was a learning curve.
There was learning. And then most scary, that was all right. The most scary moments were the deep river crossing. Like I remember the car was floating down the river at one point in time, but somehow he managed to get it through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that was
that was deep.
It was like touching here, touching there, and it was still going and then out the other side.
Okay. Yeah. I want us to go a bit more into the history, like the activities that take place here.
Okay.
What kind of activities do people come and enjoy, and also how did it start to become an activity place?
All right. So way back in the days, about 2007, 2008, I was still a teenager.
Yeah.
One guy came out here with his Beetle. These guys.
Beetlejuice.
And he convinced me to convince my dad to let them actually use the space here where we're sitting.
Yeah.
To have a little get together, and they were showing each other their vehicles, you know what they do in car clubs.
Hey, it's dance nation.
So then it started there. Actually. And then from there we developed like a cover charge.
Oh, okay.
And at the moment our cover charges, we'll get into that.
Yeah, later on.
But it started there. Slowly it started getting a name for itself.
Oh, okay.
And we've had some really nice. We've had 2 weddings out here already. And
I think you guys have hosted Keys to the City at some point.
Keys to the City,
like that hip hop event.
Blankets and Bling.
Yes.
Commander Ops got married here. Other friends also got married here. So besides that, people come out here to have picnics, celebrate birthday parties, just have fun out of town, you know.
So when you guys were coming up and growing up, how did you? Your house is a venue and it's a farm. How did you guys balance that out?
Interesting question. So the farming thing actually came into play because of the access to land to farm.
Yeah.
Right? And then I guess the recreational side, if I can put it that way, developed from people coming out here and liking what they see, the tranquility. Unfortunately, right now with got someone playing loud music across the road, it happens occasionally, but Normally, it's actually very quiet out here, very relaxed. You can grab a book and just read.
Just read. That's true. That's very true.
Have time to introspect, that kind of stuff.
And I love what he Meg said about like his mother, guys. She said it's a healing place.
Yeah.
And personally, I've been here every time I needed some healing, like a chance to like just process my thoughts and see how, what direction I want to go in life, or just I need to have a good time. Yeah, tell us a bit more about that, about like your mom.
So my mother is a traditional leader. She didn't really conform to the actual traditional ways, but she had a lot of other traditional leaders. She said that way, and she met a lot of traditional leaders, sangomas. So she was a healer. And she used to grow a lot of herbs. Actually, very interesting now that she used to grow a lot of herbs to treat people for certain things, which I know a little bit about. So we still have those herbs in the garden, revamp them now, throw them into the garden, and actually upscale it a little bit so that I can continue that
legacy. Okay, now it comes into this next part of my question. In terms of like the farming.
Yeah.
How did you get into the farming? Like,
that's actually very interesting. My father always and my mother always had vegetables growing in the garden, just for the household. Me being a naughty little kid, I'd run into the garden, pick the strawberries, finish them, like yes, eat the sweet corn raw of the things.
Yeah.
But sweet corn quite nice. You don't actually have to cook it. I don't know if you knew that. You can actually just eat sweet corn
like that. Yeah.
It's quite nice.
I've had it in salads, in some salads. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, uncooked.
Yeah, raw.
And then in school, small projects, growing stuff. Just wrap the seed in toilet paper and give it a bit of water and it grows like this. Home projects that we get given at school at young ages. And I guess for me, it's a lifestyle. I enjoy the lifestyle. I enjoy the farming lifestyle. I enjoy that.
Okay, give us like a normal schedule for you. Like, what would the normal day on a farm be doing?
All right. Wow. Okay. Planning out the day on the farm is tricky.
Okay.
Because you have things that pop up.
Okay.
1 minute you'll be doing something, and then so it happens like this, right? You'll be doing something in the bottom half of the garden, and while you're walking up from there, you bump into another thing, and it's like a new problem.
Yeah.
Like you've got an insect infestation over here.
Okay.
So it's trying to balance out things on a daily basis to keep them going, working.
Yeah.
You can set schedules, and they do work. But sometimes the weather just comes, or the insects just come, and then it's just like a conglomeration of what do I do next?
Exactly.
How am I going to get out? Yeah. I mean, that happens.
Okay. Now, a bit more about the farming. I see like you have different plots planting different things, and we're actually talking about the hydroponic farming and natural farming yesterday.
Yeah.
And you were explaining to me like the differences in soil for the like natural part and the the rotation and what's the crop rotation and the issue of now how hydroponics works. Like, there's this comparison. I'm very interested in it.
Okay.
Like, I would love for you to explain that to me.
Okay. So with hydroponics, it's all on you.
Yeah.
You grow the plants certain stages of growth. You feed them certain amount of nutrients until the end.
Oh, okay.
The health of the plant all depends on you and how much you know and your investment in time in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So with the organic side, it's a little bit more relaxed. Not when it comes to insects that much because insects do take over.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've got a friend who does organic pesticides, stuff like that. So the organic tip is just always making sure that your soil is healthy.
Oh, okay.
Always giving your soil back what you think the plants are busy taking from it.
Yes.
So certain plants will take certain elements out of the soil. Certain plants will put certain elements back into the soil.
Oh.
For example, bees will put nitrogen back into the soil that plants really need. They need growth stages.
This is the rotation part, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where you do your crop rotation.
Okay.
And then you have companion planting as well, which is planting certain things next to certain things to repel insects, for example.
So you can, like, no pesticides needed.
Yes. You can get right down to a level where you need no pesticides.
Okay.
Like, there's this natural tobacco that grows out in the villages here. They call it snull.
Okay.
That stuff's very good for insect control if you plant it along the banks of your garden. Or the wild garlic or the rosemary and they all repel different types of insects. So you can't just plant one herb spice like coriander or something and say, I've conquered it. No, you actually have to know what each individual spice plant, because at the end of the day, you're going to consume these as well.
Yeah.
They're helping you in the garden and they're going to become consumed.
Yes.
What they repel, what they're good for, and also what they're good for in your body.
Tell us about that. Like, what do certain plants do to the body?
You get anti-inflammatories. You get relaxed plants that make you relax, like lavender.
So you're telling me about the lavender and how it helps you with sleeping. But there's a thing that you told me about cabbage earlier on, and I was like, what?
Oh, the cancer suppressor.
Yes.
And so pumpkin seeds.
Oh.
We also have in the garden here a specific bush called the cancer bush. It's actually called Leonora leonatus, which a lot of people pronouncing Leonora leonatus.
It's Leo. It's Leo.
Yeah. So, and these things do help. I mean, lemongrass keeps mosquitoes away. So you want to plant lemongrass next to your house.
Oh.
You want to put lavender in your room to keep the mosquitoes away as well. They don't like it. Flies also don't like lavender.
Oh.
So everything. You can control the environment just from what you have growing surroundings, basically.
This makes it interesting because now you're coming to a point where I'm thinking about living off the grid.
Yes.
Now, actually, not even just living off the self-sustainable living, like, self-sustainable, like living through like your gardens. A lot of people at home, what could they plant in their gardens just to be sustainable and just reduce costs?
Well, the basic vegetables.
Yeah.
I mean, your lettuce, your cucumber.
All right, guys, lettuce is not simple. Lettuce is not simple.
Lettuce is the simplest plant to grow.
Yes, it is.
Very quick.
Hey,
and
I've struggled. I'm saying because I've struggled with it.
I tell you a funny thing.
Yeah.
We never had snails on this property growing up.
Yeah.
They were not here. And then I was visiting a friend of mine, an older brother of mine in town. I used to stay with during the week while I was going to school, come out on the weekends.
Yeah.
One day I came out with like a little yogurt tub with snails and fascination about snails. And man, right now, every single bush behind it has a snail.
Wow.
And I remember my father saying, we're going to have a fucking infestation. Excuse my language, it's exactly what he said. And I said, my mother kind of hushed it up and said, let him be the kid.
Yeah.
Right now, the other day, I was actually out hunting snails. And we got, in one evening, a 20-liter bucket full of snails. Unfortunately, I don't have chickens or ducks because they love it. They love the snails.
They love snails.
But I remembered him. I remembered those exact words. I remembered the voice when he said it. So, yeah, I mean, interesting, man. It's just interesting.
So, okay. I've heard a lot of people talking about the issue of the grades, the grading of produce. Yeah, has that been an issue for you guys? When you're going to market.
Yes. When you do go to market, you bump into all kinds of challenges. There are people that want certain sides of the things. There are people that don't want certain sides of the things. And listen, the local produce generally throughout our kingdom, is it's shelf ready when it comes to appeal and look.
Yeah.
When it comes to longevity, it's not going to last on the shelf for long.
What determines that?
That is determined by stuff they spray onto the vegetables before they go into the supermarket to give a longer shelf life.
Oh,
there's this scary world out there that's done to vegetables that you buy in the supermarket that think that are healthy for you. They are to a certain degree, but a lot of stuff, they've gone through a lot to make them last for longer. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't want produce coming into your store and then dying before it gets bought.
Exactly. But now this is where with the organic, beginning of an organic movement, right? This is where it's from garden to table, basically.
Oh, okay.
You pick it and like...
Okay, please explain to those at home, like, what that concept is. Like, what, like, I heard, like, really recreational farm wants to do from basically from farm to table.
Yes.
Yeah. How does that work?
And that's more like a dinner event where we will have a certain amount of people coming out, maybe in a shuttle or in their own vehicles, to come and experience a farm to table event, which is a dinner that comes straight from the garden.
Oh, okay.
Like, it is cooked and served literally from the garden into the pot and onto the table.
That's nice.
And I guess it's just an
awareness. So, it's an awareness issue?
It's an awareness issue when it comes to what you're putting into your body over a length of time.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not going to eat certain processed foods and die tomorrow.
Okay.
But when you're 50 or 60, you're going to have things popping up.
Yeah, showing up, like the signs showing up. So then bringing now the whole farm to table concept, what are the other things that people can come and do at the farm in terms of like the farming area? Like, what can they come and learn from these things?
Yes. Actually, in the near future, we will be hosting farming agricultural workshops over here.
Oh, okay.
And diverse farming techniques, not the typical. Although even if you wanted to know, like, for example, hydroponics, I'm quite familiar with hydroponics.
Oh, okay.
Having the right nutrient base for the plants to grow. A lot of people right now get into hydroponics and grow basil, which is very simple.
Oh, okay.
But now, what if you want to grow tomatoes? What if you want to grow lettuce? What if you want to grow other stuff? Where do you get that knowledge from?
So you're able to choose. Yeah.
It's not going to be as good. You're going to go through a lot of trial and error.
Rather than coming to somebody who's actually experienced it. Yeah. You were talking to me yesterday about your tomatoes. Tell us, like, the process of why I've heard they're labor intensive.
You gotta be on top of tomatoes. They're very prone to diseases. Any type of fungus. You can't, for example, have someone smoke next to your tomatoes. I think I was saying this.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
Because they're very finicky little plants. They get disease through the roots.
Oh.
So they get any kind of fungus or, like, they're very disease prone from what they get in the root system. Also from the air as well. They don't like too much rain. They don't like being watered from the top. There's a whole science behind growing tomatoes as simple as this.
That red thing.
That little red thing that you pick there.
Hey, tomato sauce.
My man.
Hey.
That thing will break your back to grow it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So what would you actually recommend for somebody who was thinking about getting into farming? What would you recommend them to do, first of all, like, okay, before you just jump into it?
Yeah. Don't look at the calculator too much, because the calculator will definitely confuse issues. You will be like, oh, I've got like 5,000 calories and so much for this much. It's a lifestyle. It's something that you have to get used to and grow into. It doesn't come overnight.
Oh, okay.
You have to learn a lot. You have to do a lot of research, depending on the type of farming that you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
There's no breaks when it comes to farming.
Oh.
Choice. You want to go organic or not?
Oh, okay.
You want to do this? You want to grow you want a monocrop, for example, to be one of those farmers that's renowned for growing cabbages, or just...
That's what monocropping is, like, growing one thing.
It's just growing one thing and
okay.
out big scale with one thing. Or do you